In today's video, we'll learn how to integrate AWeber with WordPress using MailOptin, and we'll start by setting up that integration. So on the left, we'll hover over MailOptin and we'll click on Integrations. Now on the next page, we'll click on the AWeber tab, and then we'll click on Authorize. Alright, so here you just want to enter your AWeber credentials and just verify that you're a real person. Once you're finished, click on Allow Access. That will take us back to WordPress and we can now see that it's connected. Let's create a new campaign to see how it works. We'll go to Opt-in Campaigns, then we'll add a new campaign. I'm going to name it AWeber and I'll choose the first template. Now we're in the opt-in builder and we have a preview of our opt-in on the right and we have our customization options on the left. So for example, we can go to design and make changes to the opt-in's width. We can also add a display effect. And below this, we have options to customize our colors and add custom CSS. If we move on, we'll see an option to customize our headline. We can turn it off, for example, using this toggle switch. We have a text editor to make changes to our heading text. And there are also options to customize colors and fonts. Now we can actually click on elements in the preview to open its settings. For example, here we have options to customize our description. And this one is similar to the heading. Now let's move on to the form fields. So the first option we have here lets us use custom HTML by toggling this switch. We can add our custom HTML to this field. We can decide to only display a call to action button by toggling this one. So as you can see in the preview, we only have a button. And here we have the options to customize that button. In most cases, people decide, however, to use the regular form fields. And these are customizable. Simply click on the field to reveal its settings. You have your customization options here, and there's also an option to hide the field if you need to. And if you go to the email field, you'll see that you won't be able to hide this one as it's being shown by default. If you need more fields for your form, simply click on Add Custom Field, and you'll basically get a blank slate to add your field information. Now, if you want to delete a custom field, simply click on this red Delete button at the bottom. Once you're done customizing your fields, you can then move on to customize your Submit button. So as an example here, I'm just going to go ahead and change the background color to red. Now we can see that change in the preview. Now we'll move on to the next tab, which is configuration. And here our first option lets us hide the close button. And this is the X on our pop-up. We also have an option to close the overlay on click, and this is turned on by default. We can also add a sound effect. For example, here's a pop. We can also customize our cookie durations and remove MailOptin's branding. Now moving on to the integrations tab, this is where we can actually connect AWeber to our opt-in. We'll add a new integration by clicking on this icon to reveal the options. We'll select AWeber, and then we'll select our email list. In my case, it's the default list. And I'm also going to add a tag called test. So once that's done, we can leave this tab and move on to after conversion. So this is where you can configure exactly what happens when a lead subscribes, and by default, we're displaying this success message. So you can just go through these options and also keep in mind that there's an autoresponder which you can configure as well. Now we're going to move on to the final tab, which is display rules. And this is where we can select our targeting options, but here we are going to select a trigger for our pop-up. So I'm going to use after scrolling down X%. So all we need to do here is activate the rule. And then we'll select the point at which our pop-up shows up as we scroll through the page. So we can set this to about 10%, or we could just keep it at 11 and we can go ahead and test it out. So we'll go back and we'll turn on the opt-in by toggling the switch at the top. Then we'll save our changes. And once it's saved, we can exit out of the builder. Now I'm going to open our website in a new tab, and I'll need to actually open the tab. Now I'm going to scroll down to about 11% of the page. Here's our pop-up. Let's subscribe. Now we have our success message. Now let's see if our contact was created in AWeber. So we'll go to the subscribers tab on the left. And if we look on the list, we'll see that our contact isn't subscribed as yet. The status is still pending. So we're going to go to our email to confirm our intent to subscribe. I'm going to click on confirm subscription. Now we can go back to our contact page. We'll refresh it. And now we can see that our contact is subscribed. Okay, so this integration can also be used for email automation. And I'm going to give you a brief walkthrough. So after clicking on emails on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on add new at the top of the page, and we'll click on email automation. I'll name it email, and I'm going to go ahead and select the type. So we have new post notification, which basically sends an email whenever a new post is published. And then we have post email digest, which is basically a roundup of your latest posts. I'm going to use this one as an example, and here I'm just selecting this template. And that basically opens up the email builder, where you can go ahead and customize your email. So if you go to settings on the left and scroll all the way down to the recipient section, you'll be able to select AWeber in the drop-down menu, and that makes it possible to send emails to your AWeber contacts. Okay, so now you know how to integrate AWeber with WordPress using MailOptin. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.